Awakening the champion inside begins with a decision to no longer settle for a life lived in the shadows of doubt and hesitation. It is the moment when the heart refuses to stay silent, when the soul demands to rise and claim its place in the arena of life. A champion is not born from comfort or convenience, but forged in the fires of challenges, mistakes, and moments when quitting felt easier than continuing. The strength of a champion lies not in the absence of struggle, but in the ability to face it with unshakable determination. There is a fire that exists within, one that may have been deemed by fear, failure, or the weight of the past. But that fire has never gone out. It has only been waiting for the spark of courage to reignite it. That spark comes the moment one chooses to take the first step, no matter how small, toward a dream that refuses to die. The champion within does not wait for the perfect time, because the perfect time is an illusion. Every second wasted in hesitation is a second stolen from the life that could have been lived. Every obstacle is a test, every setback a teacher. The champion inside understands that pain is not punishment, it is preparation. The road will never be smooth, but it will always be worth it. The days when energy is low and the vision feels blurry are the days that define greatness. Pushing forward when nothing seems certain is the mark of a true champion. It is in those moments of unseen effort, when no applause is heard and no recognition is given, that the foundation of victory is built. A champion is not measured by trophies or titles, but by the willingness to rise again after every fall. The inner champion thrives on persistence, knowing that failure is not the end, but a stepping stone toward mastery. Every scar, every wound, every disappointment becomes fuel for the next attempt. Those who awaken this inner force stop fearing failure because they understand that failure is simply a lesson dressed in temporary defeat. The mind is the battleground where champions are made. Thoughts shape reality, and self-belief fuels the strength to act. Doubt may knock on the door, but the champion inside does not let it move in. The voice that says, "You can," must speak louder than the one that says, "You can't." This inner voice must be fed with discipline, vision, and relentless action. Every single day is a chance to train, not just the body, but the mind and spirit. Awakening the champion inside means standing tall when life tries to push you down. It means taking ownership of the future instead of waiting for someone else to hand it over. It means finding strength in moments of weakness, courage in moments of fear, and hope in moments of despair. It is about becoming the version of yourself that refuses to accept mediocrity, that will not stop until the dream is reality. The champion inside is already there, waiting to be unleashed. It does not need permission, only action. Every step forward, no matter how small, is proof that the awakening has begun. It is not about being the best compared to others. It is about becoming the best version of yourself. The moment you decide to rise, the moment you commit to the fight, the world will have no choice but to witness the strength that has always been within you. The time to awaken the champion is not tomorrow, not when circumstances improve, not when you feel ready. The time is now. The battlefield is here. The dream is alive. The only question is whether you will answer the call and step into the arena. Inside, the champion is ready. All it needs is for you to set it free. Greatness begins with a decision to rise above doubt and hesitation. It does not arrive by accident, nor does it appear in the life of someone who waits for the perfect set of circumstances. It starts in the quiet moments, deep within the mind, when an inner voice whispers that there is more to life than simply existing. It starts when the heart beats faster at the thought of a dream that feels both exhilarating and terrifying at the same time. In that instant, the path to greatness is born, not because the journey will be easy, but because the choice to move forward has been made. Doubt is one of the greatest enemies of progress. It does not always roar loudly. Sometimes it seeps in silently, convincing you that you are not ready, not talented enough, not strong enough. It feeds on hesitation, on the moments you pause instead of acting, on the excuses you allow yourself to believe. Rising above doubt is not about pretending it doesn't exist. It is about acknowledging its presence. and then deciding that it will not control you. Doubt can stand in the corner of your mind, but it will not be allowed to sit in the driver's seat of your life. Hesitation is just as dangerous. It disguises itself as careful thinking, but often it is fear wearing the mask of logic. It keeps you in a loop of planning, preparing, and waiting for the right time that never comes. Every time you hesitate, the gap between you and your goals widens. The truth is, no one ever feels completely ready to chase something extraordinary. Readiness is not a feeling you wait for. It is a state you create by stepping forward, even with trembling hands and an uncertain heart. The decision to rise above doubt and hesitation is the moment you take ownership of your future. It is when you choose courage over comfort, action over excuses, and faith over fear. It is not a one-time choice. It is a commitment you renew daily. Every morning you wake up with a choice to let doubt and hesitation dictate your actions or to rise above them and move closer to your dream. The people who achieve greatness are not those who never feel fear or uncertainty. They are those who refuse to be ruled by them. This choice changes everything. It transforms the way you see challenges, turning them from roadblocks into stepping stones. It makes you realize that progress, no matter how small, is more valuable than perfect conditions that never arrive. It teaches you to trust yourself even when the outcome is unknown, to believe in your ability to adapt and grow as you move forward. You begin to see that greatness is not an end goal, but a way of living, a way of showing up each day with determination, resilience, and an unshakable belief in the possibilities ahead. Rising above doubt requires you to confront your inner critic, the voice that tells you to stay small, to stay safe, to stay in your comfort zone. That voice will not disappear overnight, but each time you take a step forward despite it, its power weakens. You prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you imagined. With every risk you take, you rewrite the story of who you are and what you can become. To overcome hesitation, you must embrace imperfection. Waiting until you have the perfect plan or the perfect skill set is simply another form of procrastination. Action, even messy action, is better than endless preparation. The most successful journeys begin before the traveler feels ready. The first step is the most important one, not because it guarantees success, but because it signals to yourself that you are willing to try to learn and to grow. Once you make this decision, momentum starts to build. Each small victory becomes proof that you can keep going. Each challenge overcome becomes a badge of strength. And each moment you choose action over hesitation, confidence takes root. You begin to see that the power to change your life was never outside of you. It was always in the decision to act in spite of uncertainty. Greatness does not demand perfection. It demands persistence. It asks that you show up day after day, even when progress feels slow and results are not yet visible. It asks that you believe in the process, that you trust the seeds you are planting will one day grow into something extraordinary. It asks that you keep moving, even when doubt tries to pull you back into the shadows. The decision to rise above doubt and hesitation is not glamorous. It will not always be met with applause or recognition. In fact, much of the journey will be silent and unseen, happening in the moments when no one else is watching. But it is in those quiet, private battles that the foundations of greatness are laid. Each time you choose courage, you strengthen the muscle of resilience. Each time you choose to act, you reinforce the truth that you are capable of creating the life you desire. In the end, greatness is not defined by luck, talent, or opportunity. It is defined by the choices you make in the face of fear. It is built one decision at a time, one action at a time, one refusal to give in to doubt at a time. You already have within you the ability to rise above hesitation, to silence the voice of self-doubt, and to step into the life you were meant to live. The moment you decide to take that step, you set in motion a chain of events that can lead to achievements beyond your imagination. The first step is yours to take. The choice is yours to make. And the moment you choose to rise, the journey toward your greatest self truly begins. A champion is forged through challenges, setbacks, and relentless perseverance. This truth has echoed throughout history, written in the stories of those who have risen from the ashes of defeat to stand as examples of what the human spirit can endure and achieve. The making of a champion is never a straight road. It is a winding path filled with obstacles, detours, and moments that test the very core of one's will. It is in the storms, not the sunshine, that the strongest foundations are built. Challenges are not merely inconveniences to be avoided. They are the training ground for greatness. Every challenge faced is an opportunity to sharpen your skills, strengthen your character, and prove to yourself that you can overcome more than you thought possible. A champion does not seek an easy life, but embraces the difficulties that come their way, knowing that each one carries the seeds of growth. Challenges stretch you beyond your comfort zone, forcing you to adapt, think creatively, and push past the limits you once thought were unbreakable. Setbacks are an inevitable part of the journey. They can come in the form of failure, rejection, loss, or unexpected change. They are often painful and can make even the strongest person question whether the fight is worth it. But a champion sees setbacks not as the end of the road, but as lessons that reveal what must be improved, refined, or approached differently. Each setback is a mirror, showing you where your weaknesses lie and offering you the chance to turn them into strengths. The champion does not dwell on the pain of the setback, but uses it as fuel to rise again with greater wisdom and determination. Relentless perseverance is the glue that holds the journey together. Without it, challenges and setbacks would crush even the most talented individual. Perseverance means showing up every day, even when progress is slow, when results are invisible, and when the weight of the struggle feels unbearable. It means committing to the process without constantly needing proof that it is working. A champion understands that greatness is not won in a single moment of victory, but in the countless unseen moments of effort, discipline, and refusal to quit. The forging of a champion happens in the space between failure and the decision to try again. It is the decision to keep moving forward, no matter how many times you fall. Every fall leaves a mark, but those marks are not signs of weakness. They are the badges of experience and resilience. With each rise, the champion becomes stronger, wiser, and more capable of facing what lies ahead. Perseverance transforms the pain of the present into the power of the future. A champion knows that the journey is as important as the destination. They understand that the victories mean more because of the struggles that preceded them. Without the hardship, the triumph would feel empty. It is the nights spent battling doubt, the mornings when getting out of bed feels like a war, and the moments of loneliness on the path that make the final success worth everything. The sweetness of victory is amplified by the bitterness of the trials endured. Challenges shape the champion's mindset. They teach patience, humility, and adaptability. They strip away the illusions of instant success and replace them with the deep understanding that everything worthwhile takes time and effort. This mindset becomes a powerful weapon, enabling the champion to face future obstacles with calm determination rather than panic. Over time, challenges become less of a threat and more of a signal that growth is about to happen. Setbacks sharpen the champion's vision. They force reevaluation, redirection, and renewed focus. Sometimes a setback is simply life's way of steering you toward a better path, one you might not have seen if you had succeeded too easily. A champion learns to extract meaning from disappointment, to mine wisdom from loss, and to see every apparent dead end as a new beginning in disguise. Perseverance builds the champion's legacy. While talent and opportunity can open doors, it is perseverance that keeps those doors from closing when times get hard. The world is full of stories of gifted individuals who gave up too soon. But champions, true champions, are the ones who refuse to stop, no matter how high the mountain or how rough the climb. They know that every step forward, no matter how small, brings them closer to their goal. The forging process is not glamorous. It is lonely, exhausting, and often misunderstood by those who have never chosen such a demanding path. Friends may doubt you, the world may ignore you, and the results may take far longer than you hoped. But a champion does not need the constant validation of others. They are fueled by their vision, their inner fire, and their unbreakable commitment to the dream they carry. When the victory finally comes, it is not the medal, the title, or the applause that defines the champion. It is the journey that led to that moment. It is the years of relentless effort, the nights of uncertainty, the pain of setbacks endured, and the refusal to let any of it break them. A champion's greatest triumph is not over their competition, but over their own doubts, fears, and limitations. To be forged like this is to be transformed forever. Challenges no longer intimidate you, setbacks no longer discourage you, and perseverance becomes second nature. You begin to live with the quiet confidence that no matter what comes your way, you have already proven to yourself that you can endure, adapt, and prevail. The champion within is not created in comfort. It is born in the fire, shaped by resistance, and strengthened by the unshakable will to keep going. This is the essence of a champion's journey: to face challenges head on, to rise after every setback, and to persevere until the dream becomes reality. The process will test you, break you, and rebuild you. And when you emerge on the other side, you will not just carry the title of champion. You will carry the unshakable truth that you earned it. Pain and failure are not punishments, but preparation for success. Too often, they are misunderstood as signs that something is wrong, that the dream is too big, or that the path chosen is not meant to be. In reality, they are the chisels that shape character, the fires that temper strength, and the storms that teach resilience. Every person who has achieved something meaningful has walked through seasons of struggle, faced moments of defeat, and endured the weight of disappointment. These moments were not there to destroy them, but to prepare them for the greatness ahead. Pain is one of life's most misunderstood teachers. It has the power to strip away illusions and force you to confront what truly matters. It slows you down, making you pay attention to lessons you might otherwise ignore. Pain challenges your comfort, pushing you to search for solutions and adapt to circumstances you never expected. It is rarely pleasant, but it is always purposeful. Without pain, growth would be shallow and victory would lack depth. Pain forces you to dig deeper within yourself, to find reserves of strength you didn't know you had, and to emerge stronger than you were before. Failure, too, is a misunderstood gift. It is often seen as the opposite of success, but in truth, it is one of the essential steps toward it. Failure reveals gaps in preparation, exposes weak spots in strategy, and forces innovation. It teaches lessons that success cannot. A victory can make you confident, but failure makes you wise. It humbles you in the best way, reminding you that there is always more to learn, always a way to improve. Each failure carries within it the seeds of future victories, provided you have the courage to examine it honestly and learn from it. The key to turning pain and failure into preparation is perspective. If you see them as punishments, you will retreat, hide, and give up too soon. But if you see them as part of the process, you will endure them with patience, knowing that each challenge faced now makes you better equipped for what lies ahead. The pain you feel today may be preparing you for the opportunity of a lifetime tomorrow. The failure you experience now may be teaching you exactly what you need to know to succeed on your next attempt. Pain refines focus. When you go through difficulty, the unnecessary distractions fall away. You start to see what is worth your energy and what is not. The hardships you face strip you down to your core values and show you who you truly are. In that raw and honest state, you gain clarity about your goals, your priorities, and your path. That clarity becomes one of your greatest weapons in the pursuit of success. Failure builds resilience. Each time you fall and get back up, your capacity to handle future challenges grows. What once seemed overwhelming becomes manageable. You begin to approach risks with a fearless mindset because you know that even if you fail again, you will rise again. This resilience makes you unstoppable. While others may crumble under pressure, you thrive in it because you have learned through experience that no setback is permanent unless you choose to stop trying. Pain and failure also cultivate humility, a trait that keeps you grounded even when success finally comes. They remind you that you are human, that you are a work in progress, and that no one is above learning. Humility allows you to stay open to feedback, to listen to others, and to keep evolving. Many who rise too quickly without facing real challenges often fall just as fast because they lack the depth and stability that only hardship can provide. Another gift hidden in pain and failure is empathy. When you have walked through struggles, you understand the struggles of others more deeply. This makes you a better leader, a better friend, and a better human being. Empathy allows you to connect with people on a level that pure success never could. It builds trust, inspires loyalty, and creates bonds that last beyond any achievement. Pain and failure also sharpen gratitude. When you finally achieve success after enduring long seasons of hardship, you value it more. You understand the cost, the sacrifices, and the countless unseen moments that went into making it possible. Gratitude keeps you from taking your victories for granted and fuels your desire to keep growing. To embrace pain and failure as preparation, you must refuse to see them as final. They are not the end of the story, but merely chapters in a much larger book. Every time you fall short, you have the chance to rewrite the narrative, to prove that you are stronger than the setback. Success is not about avoiding mistakes. It is about refusing to be defined by them. The road to success is rarely smooth. There will be moments that test your patience, your resolve, and your faith in yourself. There will be days when the pain feels unbearable and the failures seem endless. But these are the very moments that are shaping you into the person capable of handling the success you seek. Without them, you would lack the endurance to sustain your victories. In time, you will look back and realize that the pain you thought would break you was actually building you. The failures you once feared became the turning points that changed everything. What once felt like punishment will be revealed as preparation, and you will understand that every difficult moment had a purpose. True success is not just about reaching the top. It's about becoming the kind of person who can stay there, lead there, and inspire others from there. Pain and failure are the tools that shape that person. They are not the enemies of success, but its greatest allies, working quietly and powerfully to prepare you for the moment when your time comes. When you finally stand in the light of achievement, you will know that you did not get there in spite of pain and failure. You got there because of them. And that understanding will make your success not only sweeter, but also unshakable. Self-belief and mental discipline are the foundation of victory. They are the pillars that hold everything together. When the journey becomes uncertain, the path grows difficult, and the world seems determined to test your resolve. Without self-belief, you hesitate. Without mental discipline, you drift. But when both are cultivated and strengthened, they create an unstoppable force that can carry you through any challenge and toward any goal. Self-belief is more than a fleeting burst of confidence. It is the deep-rooted conviction that you are capable of overcoming obstacles, learning from mistakes, and achieving the goals you set for yourself. It is not arrogance or blind optimism. It is a quiet, steady trust in your own ability to figure things out and adapt when needed. Self-belief does not mean you know everything or that you will succeed instantly. Instead, it means that no matter what comes, you trust yourself enough to face it head on. Without self-belief, even the best opportunities can slip away. You may have the skills, the knowledge, and the resources, but if you do not believe you can succeed, you will hesitate to act. And hesitation can be fatal to progress. Many people fail not because they lack talent, but because they lack the belief that their talent can take them where they want to go. Self-belief gives you the courage to take risks, to start before you feel ready, and to keep going when others might give up. Mental discipline is the companion of self-belief, and together they form the complete foundation of victory. Mental discipline is the ability to control your thoughts, focus your attention, and stay committed to your goals, regardless of distractions or difficulties. It is the practice of choosing long-term gain over short-term comfort, of staying on course even when the temptation to quit or take an easier path is strong. Discipline is what keeps you working when motivation fades, and what drives you to improve even when you have already achieved more than most. Discipline begins in the mind long before it shows in actions. It is built through small, consistent choices. Waking up early when you want to sleep in, finishing the task when you'd rather stop, resisting the urge to procrastinate, and staying focused on your priorities when the world is full of noise. The more you train your mind to stay focused and committed, the stronger your mental discipline becomes. Over time, it becomes second nature to follow through on your intentions, and this consistency compounds into results. Self-belief fuels perseverance. When setbacks occur, as they inevitably do, it is belief in your ability to recover that keeps you moving forward. Without that belief, a single failure can feel like the end. With it, failure becomes nothing more than a temporary detour, a lesson to learn from and move past. This belief allows you to view obstacles as challenges rather than barriers, as opportunities to prove your strength instead of threats to your dreams. Mental discipline fuels consistency. Anyone can work hard for a day, a week, or even a month, but real success requires sustained effort over time. Discipline keeps you showing up on the days when you don't feel like it, when progress feels slow, and when no one else is watching. It turns actions into habits and habits into lasting change. A disciplined mind refuses to give in to momentary impulses that could derail long-term goals. Together, self-belief and mental discipline create resilience. They allow you to take on challenges without being easily shaken, to face uncertainty with confidence, and to recover quickly from setbacks. Even when you encounter something you have never faced before, belief in yourself assures you that you can figure it out, and discipline ensures you will do the work required to make it happen. Victory in any form is rarely the result of talent alone. Talent may open doors, but belief and discipline are what keep those doors from closing. They are what separate those who start strong and fade from those who endure until the end. Self-belief ensures that you never count yourself out, while mental discipline ensures that you keep showing up until success becomes inevitable. These qualities are not reserved for a select few. They can be developed by anyone willing to commit to growth. Self-belief grows with every small promise you keep to yourself. Every time you set a goal and achieve it, no matter how minor, you reinforce the idea that you can trust yourself to follow through. This trust builds layer by layer until your confidence is unshakable. Mental discipline grows the same way, through repetition, consistency, and the willingness to do what needs to be done, even when it's uncomfortable. The world will test both your belief and your discipline. There will be moments when you feel overwhelmed, when doubts creep in, and when giving up seems easier than continuing. But it is in these moments that the foundation is strengthened. Every challenge is a chance to reinforce your belief. Every temptation resisted is a brick added to the wall of discipline that protects your dreams. When victory finally arrives, whether in the form of a goal achieved, a dream realized, or a personal transformation, it will not be because everything went smoothly. It will be because you refused to give up on yourself, and because you trained your mind to stay the course. You will know that you earned it not through luck, but through the quiet power of belief and the steady force of discipline. Self-belief and mental discipline are not just tools for winning. They are the qualities that shape who you become along the way. They ensure that even if circumstances change, even if one dream ends, you have the strength and clarity to pursue the next one. Victory, after all, is not a single moment. It is a way of living that comes from trusting yourself and committing to your path every single day. With these two forces guiding you, there is no obstacle too great, no setback too heavy, and no goal too distant. They are the foundation upon which every lasting success is built, and with them, victory is not just possible, it is inevitable. Becoming your best self requires action, not waiting for perfect conditions. Far too many dreams have been buried in the graveyard of hesitation, lost because someone was waiting for the right moment that never arrived. Life rarely hands out ideal situations wrapped neatly with certainty and comfort. More often, it presents opportunities in disguise, opportunities that require you to take a leap, make a decision, and move forward, even when the path ahead is unclear. Waiting for everything to be perfect is not caution. It is a silent form of self-sabotage. Perfection is an illusion that can trap you in endless preparation without ever taking real steps toward your goals. If you believe that you must have the perfect plan, the perfect resources, the perfect timing, or the perfect confidence before you begin, you will spend your life standing still. The truth is, nothing starts perfect. It becomes better as you work on it. Action is what shapes ideas, clarifies vision, and turns intention into reality. Your best self is not something you stumble upon by accident. It is something you create through consistent effort. That creation begins the moment you choose to take a step forward, no matter how small. Action breeds clarity, while inaction breeds more uncertainty. The longer you wait, the more your mind fills with doubt, what ifs, and excuses. The best way to silence those voices is to move, to do something that takes you closer to where you want to be. There will never be a perfect time. If you wait for the stars to align, you'll miss the opportunities already around you. Life moves forward whether you act or not, and each day spent waiting is a day you could have been building, learning, and growing. Conditions will always be imperfect. There will always be risks, challenges, and unknowns. But it is in facing those very imperfections that you develop the strength and wisdom needed to succeed. Action builds momentum. The first step might feel heavy, but each one after becomes easier. The more you move forward, the more confidence you gain. Not because the journey becomes less challenging, but because you prove to yourself again and again that you are capable of handling it. Momentum is a powerful force. Once you have it, it carries you through moments when motivation fades. Perfectionism is often fear in disguise. People say they are waiting until they're ready, but deep down, it's the fear of failing, of being judged, or of making mistakes that keeps them frozen. The reality is that mistakes are inevitable, but they are also essential. They are not signs of weakness. They are the raw materials from which growth is built. The sooner you act, the sooner you will learn, and the sooner you will improve. Becoming your best self requires you to embrace imperfection and understand that progress matters more than perfection. Every expert was once a beginner. Every success story is filled with early attempts that were messy, uncertain, and far from ideal. But those imperfect beginnings are what made the victories possible. If you never start because things aren't perfect, you'll never give yourself the chance to improve. Your best self is revealed through experience, not theory. You can read every book, attend every seminar, and gather all the advice in the world. But until you put that knowledge into practice, it remains dormant. Action transforms information into transformation. It is in the doing, making calls, writing pages, training your body, speaking your truth, that you discover who you are and what you're capable of. Waiting can also become a habit. Each time you delay action, you reinforce the idea that later is an acceptable answer. But later turns into weeks, months, and years, until you look back and wonder where the time went. The habit of waiting drains your potential and erodes your belief in yourself. The habit of acting, on the other hand, builds confidence, skill, and resilience. The road to your best self is not linear. It will have detours, setbacks, and days when you question why you started. But each step, each attempt, each moment of effort shapes you. Some days will be filled with visible progress. Others will simply be about showing up and refusing to quit. Both are equally important because they keep you moving in the direction of your goals. Your best self will not come from a life without risk. It will come from a life where you took risks despite uncertainty. You will grow more from the times you acted in faith than from the times you waited for guarantees. It is in the moments when you step into the unknown that you find out just how strong, resourceful, and determined you can be. Taking action also inspires others. When you move forward despite imperfect conditions, you set an example for those around you. You show them that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act in spite of it. Your journey can become a spark for someone else's, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond your own life. In the end, The choice is simple: act now or live in the regret of never knowing what could have been. Every great achievement in history began with someone who acted before they felt ready, who decided that progress was better than waiting. Your best self is waiting to be built, and it will not come from standing still. It will come from the steps you take today, in this imperfect moment, with whatever you have in your hands. If you are waiting for perfect conditions, you are waiting for something that does not exist. Start now, start messy, start afraid, but start. Each day you choose action over hesitation. You move closer to the person you are meant to become. Over time, those small, imperfect steps will add up to a life you are proud of, a life lived fully, without the weight of what if holding you back. Becoming your best self is not about waiting for everything to be just right. It is about doing the work, taking the risks, and trusting that you will learn what you need along the way. Action is the catalyst. It is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. And the sooner you step onto that bridge, the sooner you will discover the strength, wisdom, and greatness that have been inside you all along. The time to awaken your inner champion is now. Commit and step into the arena. Life is not waiting for you to feel ready, and neither is your potential. Every day that passes without action is a day that could have been spent building strength, sharpening skills, and moving closer to the life you were meant to live. The inner champion is not a distant version of you that will magically appear in the future. It is the part of you that already exists, waiting for the moment you decide to call it forth. That moment is not tomorrow, not next month, not someday. It is right now. The arena of life is where dreams are tested, courage is proven, and growth is forged. It is not a place for hesitation. Standing on the sidelines may feel safe, but safety rarely leads to greatness. True fulfillment comes from stepping into the place where your abilities are challenged, where risks are real, and where you must give your all. In the arena, there are no guarantees, but there is always the opportunity to rise, to learn, and to prove to yourself what you are capable of. Waiting for the perfect time to step forward is one of the greatest traps you can fall into. There will always be reasons to delay uncertainty about the outcome, fear of judgment, or the belief that you need more preparation. But the truth is, no amount of preparation will replace the lessons you will learn from experience. You cannot rehearse for the exact challenges life will throw at you. You have to meet them head on in real time. The arena is the only place where your potential can fully come alive. Committing to step into the arena means accepting that discomfort will be part of the journey. You will face moments that test your patience, your strength, and your faith in yourself. You may fail, you may stumble, you may even feel like giving up. But it is in those very moments that the inner champion awakens, not when everything is easy, but when you decide to keep moving forward despite the struggle. The champion inside you grows with every challenge faced, every setback overcome, and every moment of perseverance when quitting seemed easier. The decision to commit is powerful because it changes your mindset. Once you commit, there is no longer the question of whether you will try, only the question of how you will adapt when challenges arise. Commitment removes the option of retreat. It forces you to find solutions, to push through obstacles, and to dig deeper into your reserves of strength. It transforms your focus from if to how, and that shift is the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. The arena is not about competition with others. It is about competition with yourself. It is about facing the version of you that hesitates, doubts, and holds back, and proving that you can rise above it. The inner champion is not defined by beating someone else, but by surpassing your own limitations. Each time you step into the arena, you have the chance to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient than you were the day before. When you awaken your inner champion, you begin to approach life differently. Challenges become opportunities to grow instead of threats to avoid. Setbacks become lessons instead of excuses to quit. Fear becomes a sign that you are pushing into territory where growth happens. You stop waiting for external validation and start finding strength in your own progress. You realize that you are capable of far more than you imagined, not because the path becomes easier, but because you become stronger. Stepping into the arena also inspires others. Your courage to act, to face uncertainty, and to give your all shows those around you what is possible. You may not even realize it, but your actions can become the spark for someone else to take their own first step. Champions create other champions, not through words alone, but through the example of commitment and perseverance. There will be moments in the arena when you will question whether it is worth it. The path to greatness is rarely comfortable, and it will test you in ways you cannot anticipate. But every step you take strengthens your resolve. Every challenge you overcome adds to your skill and confidence. Every time you choose to stay in the fight, you prove to yourself that you have what it takes to see it through. The greatest regret is not losing. It is never stepping in at all. A loss in the arena teaches you, shapes you, and prepares you for the next challenge. But standing outside, never trying, leaves you with nothing but the question of what could have been. That question can linger for a lifetime, far heavier than any defeat you could experience in action. Awakening your inner champion is not about waiting until you feel fearless. It is about acting in the presence of fear. It is about recognizing that the fear of failure is smaller than the pain of regret. It is about trusting that you can handle whatever comes because you are willing to adapt, learn, and grow along the way. The arena is calling you not because you are fully ready, but because it is where you will become ready. Every step you take inside it shapes you into the person who can handle bigger challenges, greater responsibilities, and more meaningful victories. You will not emerge the same as you entered. You will emerge stronger, wiser, and more certain of your own power. The time is now because tomorrow is not promised. Every day you delay is a day of potential left unused. The inner champion is ready for you to act. You do not need to have all the answers, all the skills, or all the confidence. You just need the courage to begin. Once you step in, the rest will follow. The world does not reward endless waiting. It rewards those who dare to enter the arena and give everything they have. So step forward, stand tall, commit fully. The arena is ready for you, and so is the champion inside you. The moment you decide to act, you begin the transformation. And one day, you will look back with pride, knowing that you did not wait. You stepped into the fight, and in doing so, you became everything you were meant to be.